Okay, so let's talk about the basics of how our industry and our company has changed since the coronavirus and subsequent closing of schools and social distancing and all that jazz. Um, we were in a good position, thankfully, at the Hayden Group. We had already had sort of a pipeline full of closings that were coming up in the months of April and May, and so we do have income scheduled to come in. Thank goodness for that. If we had been behind in our pipeline, it would have been really difficult at this point for us to continue functioning as a group. The other thing that I'm thankful for is that we have a fantastic coach, and she had advised us to go ahead and start cutting our budget because we were already sort of over budget compared to our pipeline income. And so we had already made several moves, both on the personal and professional side, to cut budget items. Now, with that said, I guess there are some major ways in which we have changed the way that we operate. We went ahead and just prior to social distancing, we went ahead and said, you know what, we have the ability to. Let's everyone just stay home and telecommute. So the first thing we did was we took Zoom, and we have a free account with Zoom, which limits you to 30-minute meetings. And we put our daily huddle on the schedule at 8:30 a.m. so that our team could come on and sort of set their focus for the day. We could communicate about any active business or client communication, and then we can sort of hit go and spread out and do our thing. We also set up a new meeting at 11 a.m. via Zoom. And the purpose of that meeting is to report our numbers. So the idea was from 8 to 8:30, we would huddle and do script practice and role play, decide who we're calling, what script we're using, and how we're going to go forward. From 9 to 11, it was 2 hours of lead generation. And at 11 o'clock, we're reporting our numbers. And so the idea there was that that time block would not be violated. This is extremely hard to do for those of us who have school-age kids that are home, because many of their communications from their teachers come around 9 o'clock in the morning. And frankly, they need a little bit of assistance sometimes with their technology, because this is a new process for them to get set up from home. And, I have a 5-year-old, 6. I have a 6-year-old. And getting him to put text boxes on and type in on a tablet that he's never used that way before, and then submit his work without any questions, that's unrealistic. So it's a work in progress, and we're learning. But as we learn what our gaps are, we will adjust. And my suspicion is that we're probably going to end up having to curb some of our non-essential meetings. Like, I've got one-on-one with team members that I help to develop them personally and professionally. And we may need to either leverage that out to someone else on the team to increase my ability to lead generate, or eliminate them completely for right now. So right now, 9 to 11, I'm lead generating mostly to my database, many of whom are home because they have young kids. And then I'm finding that in the evening, I'm lead generating and connecting with for sale by owners and expireds, because a lot is shifting right now for them. I get a hold of them better in the evening. And so the trick there is to make sure that I've got a nice sizable chunk of time to spend quality time with my family in the middle of the day. If you do not have a director of operations or an admin, please make sure to lean on whoever you can for leverage, so that you can lead generate and not get soaked up in, maintaining your active deals right now. So I know many title companies offer transaction coordination, especially if you use their services. I feel like that's something really important to lean on right now. Maybe see about virtual assistants, perhaps put some feelers out there to see if there are people right now who are willing to step on as a virtual assistant for very little money, that are actually actively licensed right now and not really sure what's going to happen to their career, going forward. So just a few thoughts. Go virtual with Zoom, cut your expenses as much as possible, figure out free, cheap, and easy ways that you can lead generate. And do not fail to touch your database right now. Come from contribution. So one of the videos I'm going to be doing shortly here is actually going to be my session where I reach out to my database using my CRM. We already have quarterly calls in place for our entire database. We follow the Do the Database 2, or DTD2, which is a common model in Keller Williams. Go ahead and look it up. We've got a video on that. And so we've got a list already. I've got about 350 people I need to get through to catch up on my quarterly calls. So this basic script we're using is, hey, how can we help? What do you need right now? I know a lot of people are concerned about finances. What do you need? If you're looking to buy or sell, now is the time. Let's tell you exactly what you can expect right now from this rapidly changing environment and why now is the time. And we cannot predict what the market is going to look like next year. The other thing that we're bringing up to people, if you're not going to be buying or selling, if you're staying put, now is the time to refinance. Interest rates are extremely low. How can I help you? Would you like me to connect you to a loan officer? Okay. We have gotten a lot of people showing interest in refinancing, and they're super appreciative because A, they're going to save a couple $100 a month in some cases. And B, when you refinance, you have a period of time where you don't make a mortgage payment because the loans are sort of moving from one to the other. And so that can buy you a month or two, and can be very, very helpful to people. The other thing that I am offering to people is we've got one of our vendor partners is a water damage and restoration company, and they're doing cleaning, sort of commercial COVID-19 cleaning of places, whether it's a commercial space or a residence. So we're asking, does anyone need that kind of assistance? And lastly, the stock market. I know a lot of us have lost a lot of money, and you only lose money if you pull it out. Some people see an opportunity in investing right now. We have a fantastic financial advisor that we work with, so I'm happy to connect people with that. But I feel like just having these conversations and checking in with people, hey, how are you doing right now? Like, what can we do to help? What is your experience right now? That's a really authentic conversation. The reality is we all have a shared bond and shared experience right now. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. We're all going through this. We all have uncertainties one way or the other. And so this is an opportunity for you to be able to connect with your people, form that relationship, come from contribution, and just put some good energy out there into these relationships and into the world right now. And people really they're receiving it quite positively. And if they don't, guess what? Move on. It's not if someone has a problem with you calling to reach out and say, hey, how can I help? Then maybe you don't need that person in your database in the first place. So we're going to get clear. We're going to get brutal. We're going to get honest. So take these few tips, get virtual, cut your budget, find your lead generation sources, be focused, super focused when you start your day. Know your time block, know who you're calling, know what script you're using. Script does not have to be inauthentic. A script can be an authentic wanting to connect and offering something, okay? Don't think that is a dirty word. And then keep your team focused. Right now, my only job is to connect with people, solidify the relationship, ask how we can help, get an appointment, get a name, get a referral, okay? Whatever we need to do for the win-win. My showing agent or market specialist, her only job right now is to make sure that we know where our buyers are mentally, we know what they're looking for, we book those appointments, we get them the home, okay? My director of operations right now, her only job is to make sure that our actives stay under contract, the people know we're there guiding the transaction, we don't let them fall apart, and to help our marketing department and our interns get new forms of lead generation going that are cheaper, faster, easier, right? So that we can keep filling our pipeline up. So focus, be clear about your time, be clear about your expectations, track your numbers, and report to each other as a team. Go virtual, cut your budget, okay? I know this is a little long-winded. Hopefully you guys are excited to dive deep in with us here. We're gonna do whatever we can to stay afloat and be a beacon to the community. You guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.